Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use multiple accounts with Git, or let's say GitHub. So let's say in my case I have two GitHub accounts and I want to use the SSH keys, and I want to use them for Git cloning and stuff like that, since I don't want to work with HTTP option. If I just go over here, as you can see, I will go to any repository and you can clone this using HTTPS or SSH. Now there is also third option, which is GitHub CLI, but since I don't want to use GitHub CLI on my machine, I prefer to use SSH. And yeah, most of the things like Bitbucket and GitLab or many things use this, have this option SSH. And problem is you will have to specify the identity file, which is the SSH key file. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to configure two GitHub accounts on the same machine and using two different keys, SSH keys. Okay, so actually, yeah, let's get started. So as you can see over here, I have these two GitHub accounts with me. I will just go to settings and SSH. So you can see we have an account named SciTech Enthusiast and another account named Zoglabs GitHub. And currently I don't have any SSH keys. Okay. Also, if I show you my user account folder, I will just go to C drive, then users, then new cache, and then there is .ssh folder, and this is currently empty. So initially, if you don't have this folder on this on your machine, that's totally fine. It will be auto generated in the procedure. Okay. So first of all, we'll be needing four files, meaning two key value pairs, public and private key pairs. Okay, so how to generate that is using this command ssh keygen. This is the command for that. So let's open a terminal, and then I will just paste this command. I will paste it in the description as well. And what I want to do is I want to generate a key value pair for using this algorithm. And yeah, I will specify my mail ID over here. So first of all, I will be generating for this SciTech Enthusiast account. So I will just enter my mail ID. Okay, and say enter. So now it is asking me where I want to store, what is the name of the file in which I want to store this key value pair. So by default it will use this id underscore whatever the algorithm is. So if you are using RSA, it will be id underscore RSA, or similarly you can use other algorithms as well. Okay, so I'm using currently ed25519, so that's why this is the name. Now I will customize this file name so that I can identify the different key value pairs depending upon the file name. So since I'm using this for my SciTech Enthusiast account, I will just append a SciTech over here. So my file name will be id underscore algorithm and name underscore username, and my username is SciTech, let's say. So I will just enter. I will not use any passphrase. And as you can see over here, so I have the public private key pair. So this is .pub, which is my public key, and then this is the private key. So I will just open this thing. Okay, and I will copy it and I will add it over here in my GitHub account. So you can see it is added. Perfect. Now let's move ahead with another key value pair. So this is the Zoglabs GitHub account. So what I would like to generate another key value pair for this account. So I will just enter my email ID. Okay, and again it is asking me where I want to store the key value pair. So I will just customize the file name for identification underscore. Here is my username. Let's say Zoglabs. Okay, enter, enter, continue. So as you can see over here, now we have four files. These two are for the SciTech user and these two are for the Zoglabs. I will again go ahead over here. I will open this public key file and I will add this SSH key over here. Okay, okay. Now our main task is done. We have four key value pair files, meaning two key value pair, and one is using public private key value pair, public private key value pair. And this is for my static account, static GitHub account, and this is for my Zoglabs GitHub account. So as you can see over here, I have this static and Zoglabs two GitHub accounts, and I have generated the key value pairs for both of these. Okay, now my goal is to be able to clone the repos from both accounts using SSH. Okay, and in order to do that, so basically how the Git will know which SSH key to use, because we have now two key value pairs. Okay, so how GitHub or how Git will know that I want to use this private key or this private key in order to clone the given repository. And for that you need to create a config file over here. So I will just open this in VS Code, and I will just add one config file. Okay, and here you will have to use configuration like this. So I will just copy this configuration, and then I will explain it to you. Okay, so first of all there is this host entry. Okay, so here I'm giving alias or meaningful name. So since my user is Cytic for this key, I'm using it over here, Cytic, and then my host is github.com. Okay, similarly for Zoglabs, I'm using this as alias. Okay, and then I will tell you where exactly you need this in order to clone. Okay, and then these three things are simple. Host name is github.com, preferred authentication is public key authentication, and identity file is this one, Cytic and Zoglabs. So make sure you have the exact file names. So id ed25519 underscore Cytic. Okay, so this is the configuration that you need. So what I'm doing is I'm specifying in the SSH config, I'm specifying what are the configuration options that are available to me. So I have two private keys, and so these are the two identity file. Okay, and then this is simple, github.com and public key authentication. And then this is where you can name it anything. I have named it like this. You can also put ABC over here, that doesn't matter, this is just an alias. But yeah, you will need that alias in order to clone or do something. Okay, now that we have our configuration ready, we actually want to clone something, right? So let me just go to my repositories. So first of all I will clone from, let's say, Cytic repository. So I will just go to my repository, and I will have this .NET story repository, which is a private repository, and I will clone it using SSH. Okay, so I will just open a command prompt. I will cd to desktop. I will just make a directory name temp, let's say. I will cd to that, so that I can show you over here. You can say this is the directory I will be using to clone both of these projects. Okay, project from Zoglabs as well as this project. So when I click on this, you can see SSH, and I will be using this path for cloning. Okay, so if I just go over here, and here, let me just clear the console, and this is how it can. So in front of it we'll just use git clone and we'll say enter, but that is not the case. Now since we have specific alias, because if you see over here in the config, both of our hosts are github.com. We want to differentiate between this while cloning, that which identity file should be used for that cloning purpose. And for that, what you will have to do, to instead of github.com, you will have to use your okay, let me just go back. So instead of this github.com, I will be using Cytic. So what is this Cytic? This is an alias I used for this entry. Okay, so this is the alias. So as you can see, git clone, git at the rate, this is the alias that I've used, which is the host name, preferred name, and then this is my repository. So I will say enter. Okay, enter, and yeah, it will give you this prompt. Just say yes, and we are done. So now if we go over here to settings and SSH keys, you can see it is now green. Similarly, this is now not green, so this is not yet consumed or verified, whatever we call it. I don't know exactly exact word. So similarly, I will just go over here, and this is my only repository in this account. So I will just copy this thing. Now I want to clone this thing. So again, git clone, and then instead of this github.com, I will be using Zoglabs. Okay, and as you can see over here, I have given this alias. So when I say git clone git at the rate Zoglabs, which basically consumes this thing, so this is the identification file that will be consumed. So I will just hit enter, and you can see, yeah, perfect. So now if I just show you the repository, so both of these, let's say, uh, repositories from multiple GitHub accounts are using multiple SSH authentication or different identification files, and I was able to clone them. Similarly, I can git push them, and now I can do a normal git things with this. But this is how you can use the multiple GitHub accounts on the same host using the different identity file configuration. So that's it for this video, guys. If you have any questions with respect to this, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.